Oh my god. Oh my god, I have done the faux pas. I have done the thing that every streamer fears. Hopefully you can hear me now, though. Enjoyed the music and the absolute silentless stream. So yeah, thanks for coming, Twitch TD. Welcome to the stream. It's going great. It's going super good. Okay, so it's good Lua code, but it didn't work. Oh my gosh. I was explaining all kinds of stuff there, the secret of life and how to be the best at everything. And, man, I'm sorry y'all missed it. Short ribs, oh yeah. Nice. Okay, there's something wrong with my Lua code here. Maybe it's E not being converted to string. I pairs also, yeah. Was another one. I've seen both. So we're not even using the I, but apparently having a function that just iterate the values of a table is too much to ask. We'd have to write our own code for that, which is kind of weird, but okay. Okay, something going on there. Was it back on logger like that? Foobar. And choose that one. Okay, we can look. Okay, we can't look. Yeah, I need the tracebacks, friends. I need the tracebacks. I need to be able to see what's going on with the Lua code and why. Where in the Lua code is failing, not just that it failed. Okay, can I print exit stir here? Yeah, maybe print E here. Okay. No, we can't. We just, as soon as we get the failure, it's like, nope, no business. Oh, very poor performance. Oh, okay. Well, there's a standard library routine. Table doc concat. Okay. Ah, that's perfect. How do I do that? Oh, is it exits, doc and cat, like that maybe? Yeah. Oh no, it takes an argument. It takes the T. Okay, so just table, doc and cat. Comme ça, like this. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, let's get rid of this part at least and just do one thing at a time here. Just get it to print out exit string. Hopefully that's fine. It could also, the other thing could be that I'm forgetting how the thing is structured and yeah, data and stuff. Okay. Probably is something like that. Mud code. So when we return a room, we get a room. How do I encode the exits? Push room exits. I push in this text, the room exits. Okay. And a room. It's a list of text. So it should just be a list of strings. Okay. I was thinking maybe I was returning like another, like a table of tables. You know, like objects. Okay, so it's not that. Let's go back to the mud code. Room.exits. That's what it is. That's got to be what it is. Oh, we're off to a good start. Bakamud, foobar. Let's go. Choose one. There we go. Okay, cool. Right. There's our string. Exits. Okay, cool. So we can bring back in that has to print out our string here. And exit stir there. Control C that. Get rid of that print statement. Okay, now I should be able to see the exits. Bakamud. Okay, there's our exits. Okay. Cool. Here. Make this a little bigger. There we are. All right, so we picked book entry. Okay, there's the room title, the description, the exits. So the next logical step in our game that the user would take, right, might be to just sit there for a while and do nothing, or you know, try to type a command like go haul or something like that, right? Which we don't handle yet, but it might be something like that. All right, or they might just look again. They could look again. They can just keep looking. It's all they can do right now. Right, or they can disconnect, I guess, is the other thing they could do. So that's our system so far. So now, in order for me, we need to be able to like go to that room, go to that hall. Right? And be able to do that. If it's go, then exit is tokens 2. If exit, then well, let's just put connection. Let's just put something on the connection. We'll just say like use selected, whatever. You want to go to %s there. Exit. And we restart the server. We run the telnet server again. We log in. Right. Choose our character. Alright, we want to go haul. We want to go haul. Yes, we do. Now, something a little bit of a weird thing that could happen here, though, is that we could log in, Bakamud, foobar. Right, at this point, right, if we were passing off commands to the Lua script, right, the mud code for processing, I don't have to choose a character right now. I could just type go haul. Right, even though I haven't like attached a character to my session yet. Right, I could also look. Although that's not going to do anything. It's probably going to just say no one found in the logs there, but right, now I've picked one. Now I can look and things will go there. So it's kind of a that's kind of a weird thing that we could go in there that we might need to handle, maybe. Maybe we should handle that. Have some way of checking the user state. Something like that. Before when we process commands. Yeah, like I could imagine having a variable in my handle command that's like looks up the user's avatar that they've currently connected, and if there isn't one yet, right, I can add that to my conditions, like if avatar and right. That would be a thing we could do. Okay, so let's just continue on for now. Okay, so now we got the exit. We can pick that exit argument there. And we want to be able to move to that new room. We want to be able to go to the new room. So we need some way of doing that. Let's go to mud code. I don't think we have that yet, so we might have to implement a new API function for us here. Set avatar, list, connections. Yeah, we don't. So I think what I want to be able to write exit is like put avatar, move avatar. Now what would the arguments to this be? All we have is on this side is an exit name. So it wouldn't be really moving. It would be like move to exit. Or do exit. Go to exit. We'd have to know which avatar, so that would have to take our connection ID. It's the only identifier for the user that we have right now. That's going to want to update stuff as well in the simulation, which I'm going to have to get to later. But basically, when you're playing one of these games, right, if there's multiple people in the same room as you, when one of them leaves, we should see a message like so-and-so left to whatever exit. All right, and same when we leave, it leaves a message for everybody else that we've left that room. And then similarly on the other side, when we come to the new room, you want to see what has entered the room. Also want to do this through like an entity component system as much as possible. In which case, I'd want to be able to, this command to just update the component for a particular entity. And that component would have some kind of movement association thing with it, right? I haven't really thought too deeply on that yet, but I think it should be a thing that we need to do now. Because I'm also going to want mobs to be able to move around, right? When we get to implementing mobs, those are like mobs are like mobiles or like NPCs. They are like entities controlled within the simulation, like monsters and things that aren't controlled by a character. They're controlled by the simulation. And they should all be able to move and through to exits basically the same ways. Right? There shouldn't be any like special handling code unique to each thing. Just if you have the associated component that can move, and then you're movable. And then we can update your position. Okay, so maybe something like that. I feel like I'm going to be implementing this like special cased if I implement this function this way. Haskell function E. Let's get GHCID going. Oh, I'm not in the right direction there. Wrong one. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is get our argument off of the Lua stack. Connection ID would be 1. We've got 2. Exit name. Let's just put Sterling those. show the raw connection ID and the exit name that they gave us. Lua.string is not the right name. Is it Lua.text? No, what is it? Byte strings. No, HS Lua core. I think has the two. Two string function. Okay. Returns a maybe byte string. Which means we should get an error. Pure 0. Hang on, like that. Okay, now we're all good there. So we should be able to test this out now. See if we're looking good to good. Right, that function is not implemented yet, so of course that fails. We haven't exposed it. Silly me. So there we go. Go to exit. Let's try that again. There we go. Super. Oh, it's a byte string, but we used to show, so that's why it's got the double quotes around it. But yeah, go haul. Okay, cool. So that's fine. Should we start implementing the ECS, the entity component system, and do it through that? Start fleshing that out. I mean, the easiest thing for me to do right now would be to just change the kind of special session variable we have for like the avatar's current location. Which is here in session. All right. Ultimately, like that's the easiest way we can just do that. And I think that would work now. But if I go ahead and implement a full-on ECS, we could be doing that for a while before we even get to like moving things around. Getting to the fun. So I want to do the ECS, but I think we're going to do it this way for now. And I will implement the ECS for implementing mobs. And then make avatars an entity. And then hopefully everything will just be ported over to that, basically. But for now, I want to get to that point where we got like a little bit of something going, you know what I mean? I don't want to start writing framework code that I'm not going to use yet. I'm probably going to use, but I'm not going to use right yet. Okay. So, we need to, in order to do this, we got to look up the room, look up its exits. Or we have the exit name. Yeah, but we should look up the current room that this avatar is in for this connection ID. And we should validate that this exit is a valid exit from that room. And if it is, then we go look up the room based on that name in the room map and change that session variable. That would be our janky room changing code. Our very, well, I shouldn't say janky, but like our first pass room code, our very basic room code. Oftentimes, like as I'm building stuff, sometimes like you don't always stick with the first thing that works, you know what I mean? You get something going just to show the idea, to show the thing, to go, okay, cool, this works, or like this is fun, or this is useful. But I might go back over that code and just kind of like rewrite parts of it. You know, it's not going to stay the same. It might be good enough for a first pass. I might even ship that. Maybe in some circumstances, the first thing, but you'd end up refining it over time, I guess. So anyway, that'll be good enough for now. So yeah, let's go and get that room, the current room the avatar's in, from the session variable. So we need the server state in here. Let's pull it apart with record wildcards. Let's get the GHCRD going. Okay. And so in our server state, we need the room map and the session. Specifically, we need the user in the session. So we're going to need the avatar ID. Tier session. I think we'll need a helper here. So we have the server state, connection ID. We use our get valid session function. Just the avatar room ID for that. Of course, we'll give it a type. Server states. Connection ID to Lua E. Returning room ID. I will have to import room. Yes, yes. We don't have a room ID yet. That's right, that's right. Getting back into the map code a little bit. The room exit, right, is a name. And, should really refer to an exit name, which goes to something. These are kind of like our pointers to things on the map. So, in order to do that, we need to have the exits as well, which I don't think we have yet. No, we don't. All right. So, that's what we need. We need to implement that. Okay. What are we going to do there? We could create a map for our exits. And then we would have to look up in our exit map this exit name and the goes to part. The goes to part needs to be some kind of index into the room map, which is going to be the key, I guess, for the rooms. So that should be pretty straightforward, actually. So where are we at with the code? Go to exit, just oh, right down here. Require room. Okay, let's stash require room off to the side somewhere. Actually, session. It's just text. So actually we don't need to, it just needs to be text. Okay, I'm already wanting to have more types there, better types there. Okay, we'll create a little committee commit for this, what we've got so far, and then we'll go add the room database to to the state. API function. Okay, state, here we go. Okay, so we had the new string exits there. We gotta initialize it. Exit map. Okay, we don't actually want it to be an empty map. All right, okay. So, and we look at the definitions of our rooms. I think we should parse them out of there. And so our parser should be able to turn these into exits. All right, let's look at our types again. I was thinking actually this might be a simpler way to do this. Would just be the keys themselves, like the exit names in the room's map itself, or the exits. Would there be a reason? There might be a reason why you might want to have it separated out here, though, just for display purposes. We can have like a nice, pretty exit name for text, because our exit names are going to be kind of limited, potentially, to what you can put inside a Lua string here, which might be like arbitrary Unicode. It might be just fine. Or these names, actually. They got to be Lua names. We could make them text. But they have to refer to these here when we look up the rooms, because these become the keys in the rooms map. So, right. So how we build those? We'd have to build up this map incrementally as we parse each room file, I imagine. That was in state, was it? Yeah, it calls parse room definition. So the individually load room here returns one parsed file. And if we were to parse it and return a list of exits, so instead of text, it'd be a type like this. Then our description would have to look more like all. I forget the Lua syntax for it, but like something like that. Something like that. Or what else was I thinking? I was thinking the other thing would be as we parse each file, we turn well, if I parse this and I just have it like this. If I've parsed the other file already, the entry file, I already know that this key refers to that thing. So let me pull up the other file. Right, this name should refer to this thing. And so we would just build up a collection of those exits to make our exit map. These are all single strings though. So I'm thinking it would be more like this. Something like that, I think is probably what it would look like. Then each room type is going to have that list of exits, objects, which then we'd have to, as we load all the rooms, in order to do our lookup code, right, we'd have to pull those out. Because when I want to write go to exit, I've got just that key, that exit key, and I don't have to look through every single... I don't have to look up that... Well, actually it would be fine. It wouldn't be too bad. I'd look up the room, then I'd have the exits for that room. Yeah, that could be fine. And that would give me the key into the rooms map. Okay. This could be okay. This could be fine. Might even be good. Okay. Entry, yeah. Okay, so let's try that then. Let's compile room. We have to change parse room definition. So get exit field here just gets those values before, but now it's a table. So the shape of the type wouldn't look like this. What would it look like? I think it'll be something like table const. Is this it wouldn't work? Let's change the type. Go into that code for now. That's that as well. And here. Yes. Okay. It's a reveal type. Mm-hmm. I would do. An ORD instance for exit. Ah, good times. I think that should be possible. Right. So this code looks up the room. Right, it looks over, parse the Lua text. And if it was parsed, we look for a structure of just exactly this shape. It's an assignment of a Lua variable name, of a table to a Lua variable name, essentially. And then we're in either, so the field map from lists, we traverse get field on fields. Or the fields of the Lua table. Right, so we get table field, and we have to return either a room definition error or the text in a room field type. So it can be different types. It can be dynamically typed, right? So we previously just had text and list of text. Now I'm like, I am still just going to be a list of text, actually. Right, so I get the room exits, for example, by looking up exits in the field map. But then I need to... What I'm going to do is transform those into the exit objects here at this level. But I'm just going to parse the things. So really, we need a new type here. Room pair text. Or, no, it's going to be a list pair. Really could be a list of maps. But we're going to go pairs because we're going to be a little bit more specific. It's our code. We can do what we want. It's our parser. Happy little parser. Okay. So now, get field for get here. So this get field here has to traverse that list, and instead of it has to return our peers now to get the exit field. Name comes from here to 2. In order to build the map up, so that would be, name would be the exits. That would be this part here. Yeah, on line 4. So instead of a Lua API var name, it's going to be a table expression again, or table const. Some PE var would be this part here. Right, and 79 then. So this is where we transform our list of pairs. Yeah, list pair should be fine. So get exit field here. Turns room field type, text room field type. Room field type. Let me start over again here. Okay, so instead of just a text, we're going to return a pair. Isn't that right? Minus this one here. Okay, and then on 58 there. Okay, so now room exits has the type that list of text to text. So now we need just to map room exits to our actual value. So we'll call this raw room exits. And we'll let room exits equal map exit onto raw room exits. Well, in fact, we could probably just do that here. Get room exits. Actually, we could probably just do it here. We could make this exit. Then we map the constructor over that. No, you can't. You can't because you are going to be wrapped in our little type. Yes, we still need to do stuff with you. we do it here? Or maybe after join. Turn that back to our pair. Put the hole there. And then we go. Yeah. Let's put a hole there. Okay, so like now Haskell's saying like, hey, I need this is ugly as heck. We're just gonna try to get rid of the arrows and try to get everything compiling green again. But this hole is now saying like I need a function here from a pair of text to text to exit, right? So I can do like xy maybe. That would satisfy it. Now, room field type can be satisfied here. Because we need to wrap that in our room field type. Okay, and now this is telling us that our pattern match is no bueno. So we need to Lua prefix expression, a PE var. Let me look at these types again. No. Prefix expression. It's a prefix expression. Prefix expression can have PE var in it, PE fun call or PE parent, and a var can have var name, select name. Okay, so probably don't want to match up. It's probably not going to match on that Lua field. EXP, so probably gonna get the table const there. And that's gonna be a list of table fields. Which will be our exit defs. Hey Cody Jog 3, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Yes, I'm a developer. A programmer of little renown. How you doing? What brought you to the stream? Are you a programmer yourself, just interested? Do you work in Haskell or games or what's going on? Tell me, Cody. What's happening? Okay, so we get the exit field like these, the table consts. And it's a list of table field types, things of table field, which are going to be, we have to map over those in order to get the pairs of texts we want to produce. All right, I got fmap over exit defs with some kind of function. What does that function need to be? It needs to be a Lua table field to pair text. So if I create that definition here, should be able to pop it in there and make the type checker happy. So no, we need to be either room definition error. It's a text. Okay, so our type, we're just playing a little type Tetris now. Just trying to get this to fit in the hole that I created, but we're not fitting there. Oh no, it's just gonna, oh sorry, it's just gonna map over one exit def. Right? Yeah, we already do the traversal over that. Now up here on 65, we traverse over fields, which is the same as the table const thing there. Okay, so now this should be a table field. Right, okay, it's a text. Okay, so then, yes. Okay. So we get name, instead of field, we're going to get named field. And named field has a name and an expression. Right, it's going to be exit name. And the expression is going to be a string text, Lua string text. So that's going to be our exit key. Or no, we said in our definition we wanted it to be more like a var. Number... efundef. Bin opera uop vararg. No. Function definition of prefix expression. Okay, that's where our prefix expression thing comes in. Okay, Lua prefix expression. PE var. Okay. So that's what we're going to pattern match on. Let me stop shrimping a little bit. Prefix exp. Lua PE var. Lua var name. And exit key. Perfect. Okay, so now I can just return my pair that I want. Exit name. Exit key. Oh, it's a Lua.name, is it? One more pattern match to get that out. Yeah, Cody Jog, I'm a developer, for sure. Software dev of little renown, but quite some time. I do stuff in all kinds of languages, like right now I'm doing stuff in Haskell, but sometimes I stream myself working on a little game side project I'm building out in C with Raylib. What sort of stuff do you do? Are you a developer as well? So what's the type error here? A behavioral therapist. Oh, well. Welcome to the stream. What interested you? Right, I don't need map exit. I just need pure exits. Right, and then back to mud code. So that's implemented for the parse room definition now. On 158. Right. So this push list here, pushing text, isn't going to work anymore because the room exits is now actually like a bunch of exit objects. Or types, or values of exit types. So we need to change that to just the room names. Hold there, so exit to text. We have such a function for that. It's called exit name. Excuse me, so we'll pop that in there. So that's what we want to display anyway, and then we're all good again. Okay, we're green again. Yeah. Right on. Scotty says they've been dabbling in coding for the last couple of days. Right on. I've been using ChatGPT for helpful tips and tricks. No answers. We've been doing reading and exercises on a MOOC. Very cool. Very cool. This programming language is pretty neat, but it might scare the pants off you. If you don't know what's going on, that's okay. I think it's pretty fun. It's called Haskell. If you want to look it up. But, yeah. Well, good luck. When I started learning Haskell, I actually took a course online as well. Initially, to dip my toes in it. I think through the University of Glasgow. I don't know if they still have it. Haskell online course. I don't know if they still have it. Oh, it is. Well, AI says it's on FutureLearn. FutureLearn says it's on FutureLearn. Yeah, this one. And it was a pretty lightweight, quick little introduction. They say it's about 4 hours a week. Yeah. I mean, if you're new to programming completely, it might be a little bit more than that, but it's okay. It's an online course. You can take however long you want. Pretty cool. Pretty nice little course. There's other good ones out there too. Yeah, it's an actual career. Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing it for, I don't know if I want to age myself, but a very, very long time. Well, let's just say if there were ents in programming, I'd probably be an ent. Maybe I'm not quite that old, but I'm pretty close. Maybe I'm a Huern. Been around the block. Okay, this will date me. My first computer was an Amiga 500. So, you know what that is? That was my first computer. Now, I got that a little bit later when everyone had kind of moved on to it, but I was still on it. That's when I got that thing and I started learning how to program in order to make games with BASIC, which was a lot of fun. And a lot of like, Agent Ultra is the best over and over again for infinity. So Cody wants my opinion. Is it actually okay to get into it and learn it and maybe one day try to get a small job doing it? Or is AI completely running the world at this point? Man, that's tough to say. I'm not very good at predictions. I don't know how it's all going to play out. So I would say it is worth learning and getting into if you are personally interested in it. If you think you would learn it even if AI took over the world and wanted to try it out and understand it and build things with it. That's what I would say. If you're just learning it purely because you heard software developers are paid well and, you know, have illustrious careers with great benefits, all things that have been true, but I don't know if that's going to be true in the future. The whole situation with how AI is being deployed and how it's being used in the industry is... It is what it is. Not a lot of people are actually writing code. Some people still are, but not everybody. And from what I hear, I haven't been forced to do this yet, but from what I hear, people being forced to use AI tools like Claude and stuff like that to write code they're not getting any benefit out of the productivity gains if there are any. They're just working more and burning out faster, if that makes sense, right? So the way all those tools kind of work is like, okay, you give it the spec, you tell it what to build, you get all your agents kind of set up the way you want them to go, and then they go off and start burning tokens and burning money. And maybe in 10, 15 minutes or 20 minutes or however long it takes, they'll come back to you. It'll come back to you with something and maybe ask you a couple of questions in between, and you'll have some code to work with. But if you're waiting around, then you probably want to be doing something else. And so a lot of people are like finding, okay, well, I could juggle maybe 3, 4, 5 different projects in different Claude sessions, so that I look like I'm busy. And then the thing that causes fatigue in knowledge workers, at least one of the things that causes fatigue in knowledge workers that we know about and has been studied well, is like decision fatigue, right? So you're making all these little decisions from all these different Claude sessions, trying to get things going. And so people are actually a little bit more stressed out than they used to be. Yeah, I would say it does. So you still need to know the fundamentals for sure. Because if you don't, what these tools will do is convince you that they generate plausible things, right? Not the actual answer. So it generates code that looks like it would be correct. And if you don't know what you're looking for, you could read that and go, okay, right? So it's like if you were, you said you were a bioinformatics or something like that, right? Behavioral therapist. So if you tried to ask GPT things about your field, that you know some stuff that's really, really deep, things that are very, very deeply, then, or any kind of these AI models, you might find its answers aren't always satisfactory, right? And the same thing is going to be for code, but if you don't know what you're looking for, you're not going to know that when those answers are unsatisfactory. So it can be a little bit tricky to use that way. So, but some people, like, they just trust it. They say the AI agents and the models are good enough now but that one time where it produces something and you can't get it to work, you're going to be very, very frustrated if you don't know the fundamentals. So that's why I recommend still like learning how to program on your own and understand the underlying concepts and stuff. Right, so you'll know what pulls things from the internet, yeah, because you probably read a bunch of the stuff before, yeah. And human-wise, it depends on a lot of different factors. Yeah, that can be quite complicated, sure, exactly. Right. Whenever I find like old Uncle Facebook coming along and saying, hey, there's this thing you should see, and it's like an AI generated post, it's almost so obvious, right? But people get really, they're not ready for these tools, I don't think, because like it can generate stuff that's convincing and plausible, right? And the way that a lot of the tools are designed in the interface is designed to be very pleasing and sycophantic, right? So it's aimed to make you feel like you're very smart and you know what you're doing, and that you're in control, and so you can get convinced pretty easily that some of the things it comes up with are actually the real deal when they're not. So I would say if you're using it as your learning tool, just be careful and go check the sources that it comes up with, because I think a lot of them report sources now. And then confirm them with your own experiments too. Write the code yourself, or write the code based on what you understand so far, that kind of stuff, and check it against what you were told by the AI. But yes, you're early in your journey. There's a long, long road ahead of you. There's no ceiling in this profession for sure. A lot of cool things to get into. Scotty says, you don't even know what the heck a software engineer gets paid. Okay. You're just super addicted to creating things and seeing things run and then making things automated. Okay, cool, like factory games. Yeah, great. Awesome. So like, just keep going. Just keep going and do it for yourself. Do it because it makes you feel good. Right? The AI will be there and it'll be, you know, a tool. You might be able to use it for things. And then once you get really good at programming, you'll be able to do a lot more with it. Or maybe you'll just like doing the programming part yourself. Will there always be a career there? I don't know. I don't know. Me, I like programming and I like coding, and that's my thing. And, you know, a lot of people are telling me, you know, you got to use these tools, you got to use them, you got to use them, you're going to get left behind. This is the future of the industry. And I'm just not interested. Casey Muratori came up with a great analogy. He said he just likes playing drums. Casey Muratori's a widely known programmer who's done a lot of interviews and videos and stuff, so you can find him easily on YouTube and out there on the internet. He puts out a lot of courses and stuff too, but he said, I just like to play drums. You know, people tell me like, oh, we invented a drum machine. You don't have to play drums anymore. We can just program the drum machine and it'll tell us, we can just tell the drum machine what we want and it will just generate the drums for us. He's like, no, I just want to play the drums. You don't understand. I don't want to like tell drum machines what to do. You know, I like to do the programming. And I'm kind of in the same boat. And so I think I feel similar to him in that like if the future of the industry is such that, yeah, we all just talk to drum machines now. We don't actually write code anymore. Then I will have to become something else. Maybe I'll open a hot dog stand or something. I don't know. But I will be programming. I'll still be doing it. But I might have to find another profession to support myself with. Personally, I don't think that's the way it's going to end up. But again, I can't predict the future. I don't know. I hope that, and I think that eventually maybe it'll come back around a little bit and people start realizing that like these are platforms, right? Like Anthropic and Claude, building Claude and ChatGPT and everything, they're platforms, and platforms are built in a sort of capitalist system of extraction, rent extraction, and that they're really expensive and these companies aren't making profits on it. Like all these subscriptions that people pay for, all these tokens they're paying for, they're not profitable yet, and so they're gonna have to find ways to become profitable. And it might get more expensive to burn tokens than just to pay a human, even if the human takes a little bit longer to do it or whatever. Yeah. Wait. It's hard because if you put your foot down and you say like, okay, it's going to be like this, chances are you're going to be wrong, right? Like, so when I'm saying, I'm not predicting that's what's going to happen, I'm just saying like, that's how I hope it'll go. Because right now everybody's still in the mania phase of like, oh, it can one-shot everything and it can generate whole programs and it can do it better than I can and more correctly all the time, and all these kinds of really wild claims. You know, and companies are buying it not because like it is doing that, but I think it's more likely that there's just a really good salesman who's come along and convinced our bosses that this is a thing, that they have to miss in and that they'll miss out if they don't. Yeah, that's the kind of, you've hit the nail on the head right there, Cody, for sure. I don't want to get paged at 3 a.m. to fix a 300,000 line of code system running in production that's like gone down at 2 a.m. that I have never written a single line, never seen a single line of. All right. Then you say, well, you got to get the AI to do it. But what if the AI is offline? AI is offline, right? Like Claude has terrible uptime. All right, it's good 2 a.m, perfect storm happens, service is down, the AI is offline, you can't fix the code because you've never seen it. You have no idea what it does, right? It's a 300,000 lines of Ruby on Rails blog code, you know, that goes offline at 2 a.m. Well, maybe not an individual file, but there are software projects that can get that big, and certainly with AI tools at the as a tool in your toolkit, right? They'll happily generate code for you, right? And if you're not keeping track of it, they'll generate all kinds of code, very custom code. They'll generate their own libraries for things, and yeah, I heard somebody call it the 300,000 line of code, 300,000 line Ruby on Rails blog, right? So if you've built blogs with Ruby on Rails, it's a web framework. It probably has like a template to do it. If you've built one before, you kind of might have a sort of an idea that it might take maybe a few thousand lines of code to do at most, right? But an AI will generate a 300,000 line version of this if you give it like a poor spec and you don't guide it right, you know. So it can be pretty dangerous as a tool too. Thanks for the follow, Cody. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, it's been a good chat, and running a little time. So where was I? We're implementing GoToExit. Yeah. Oh, the room parser stuff. Yes. So the system should work as it was now if I like start the server that we've been building and I connect to it. Oh. Ah, okay. Our parser didn't work. Cool. Okay, I think I'm running out of time though for the week, so we might have to fix this next week. But let's just take a quick peek to see if it's a fast one. So that error message here, room definition field error, not a valid exit variable. That comes down here. This function, okay. So this pattern match I came up with is not what we're getting. We're not matching on anything here. So when get exit field is called over this thing, it's getting something else. So what we can do is I can just comment this out so that doesn't get executed or evaluated, I should say. Well, thanks. Yeah, it's been a nice chat. It's been interesting. It's nice meeting people getting into programming for the first time. I envy you. Yeah, I do these streams on Tuesday evenings, but I start around 10 after 8 in the Eastern time zone. And sometimes I do other random streams throughout the week on little projects I'm working on here and there. So if you're ever around and you have your notifications set up, you'll get notified of those. So I'm just going to get the F. I'm just going to call it the argument F here. And I'm just going to debug, print that. Trace M. Or I can do is trace. And we'll just print it out. Import our debug module. Then we'll rerun the server. Ooh, that might be the source of my error too. That might be a source of an error there. Okay, so that's what is parsed here. Okay, so then I can take that, and I think I can just plop that in there. And get fields, so I'll uncomment this. This type here, or this argument, I should say, that I'm pulling apart. We'll replace this little bit here with exit name, the variable. You're going to want to put strip on that. I just noticed. And replace this with exit key. That should do it. That's a little better. Yeah, I have to prefix all of these, though. So I import qualified all of these type names and constructor names and stuff. There. And then... okay, let's get your CID going here. Get exit field. Oh yeah, I gotta put that all in braces in the parentheses there. Okay, get exit def. Okay, I might not even need that. Just delete it. Okay, we're all good there. Start the server. Connect to it. And everything should be working just as before. So we welcome to Bakamud. There's our server, welcome message. We log in as our user. Bakamogger, foobar. We choose our character. Sorry, choose one. Okay, we look and we get the hall now. Notice though that it's capitalized. So that's coming from our parser now. So our parser works. Our change to the parser works. We get the exits now. And now we're in a good place where we can look up the room from the map and we should be able to finish implementing this command for next week. So I'm going to write a little commit for that. And then that's going to have to be it for this week. Just quickly review our code. Yeah, looks reasonable. This we can probably get rid of because we're not using it at all. Get rid of that. We gotta get rid of the debug code. In space, the space module. There we go. That, return it to the underscore, it matches everything, anything. Okay, and import that. Okay. Then, okay. That looks reasonable now. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay, good. Stage those, create a commit. Look at progress, update, modify, Bakamud simulation, space, changed room parser to parse exits instead of just text. Change room definition to use exits. Okay. I'm gonna rename these. Actually, I'll just reword both of them. The first one, I'll just take the work in progress off that. Bare minimum skeleton function. And that's actually just fine. Push those up. Okay, so all the code for this project that you've seen tonight, it's called Bakamud. It's up on GitHub. I'm Agent Ultra. Nice to meet you. Nice to hang out with you. Thanks for watching and following along. So Bakamud is the name of the project. You can follow along there, like, star, what have you, fork. Check it out. I do these streams, like I mentioned, to Cody there once a week at Tuesdays at 10 after 8 in the Eastern time zone. You can also follow me on the Fediverse on Mastodon. I'm on the types.pl server at Agent Ultra there. AgentUltra.com is my website, both of which have links to my YouTube channel where I back up the VODs for the stream, as well as my stream and GitHub and everything else. So follow along there. Also get on declarative.tv. That's the link above my head. And that link goes to a cool little website where there are other streamers doing things in declarative style programming languages like Haskell, but also like Erlang and a bunch of others that you can find and check out. They're also looking for audience members. There's a Discord server link on that site as well, where we have a channel for this stream. So if you're watching from YouTube and you want to chat, hang out with us, and ask questions and whatever, join it. Check it out. That's all I got for this week, though, folks. Thanks again for watching and hanging out. And may all your monads be free and your types always check. Happy hacking out there. Take care.